Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our post-game men's volleyball press conference with head coach Alan Knipe, as well as Clark Godbold and Nathan Harlan. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from Coach Knipe. Then we'll open it up to questions for Coach and the players from the media.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank everyone who came out. It was a great atmosphere in the Pyramid tonight, and huge student section. It's great to have them back on campus. I guess they've been back. We were gone, but nice to be back in that environment. It's a special place to play when it's full. So thank you for everyone. But as far as the match, it was a great match for February. Not only was it close and pushed to 5, but the numbers are good for both teams. Both teams hit well. Both teams blocked pretty well. Serving was pretty equal. Obviously, that's why, and even digs. So that's why, obviously, the score was close. But for us, it was, we didn't necessarily play the cleanest first set. We got kind of down, and then we got ourselves back into it and had a chance. And then I thought we played pretty well throughout the rest of the match. And they had a couple of guys that were having a great night and taking a lot of swings and having a lot of success, and that can get a little frustrating sometimes when you kind of feel when you know where the ball's going and you're not blocking or digging it as much as you would like. So I thought the guys did a really good job of staying patient and composed, and we got some when it really mattered. But more importantly, I thought that our offense was really, really good and gave us opportunities to just keep siding out regardless if we scored points or not. I think we sided out at 80% in the fifth set, hit 471. That's, those are big numbers in post 20 in the 1 through 4 sets, and then the whole fifth set. If you can be around those numbers, you're going to win a lot of matches. So I was really happy with the way we bared down and passed the ball. I thought Aiden did a great job setting tonight and distributing the ball to all of our guys. Our middles were great, and I thought Clark was really good. But the one everyone will notice is this is the huge upgrade we got from Nathan tonight off the bench, and he trains really, really hard in our gym, and he's dying to get over there all the time. So I knew that we need a little life, and he gave it to us, and it's not surprising he's been playing like that a lot in our practice gym.
Nathan, to piggyback off what Coach just said, I know you guys, I've seen the way you practice. I know it's very competitive, and I know that you're obviously on the floor a lot and prepared to be on the floor even more, but there's nothing like being thrown into a match, in that way with a full crowd in the Pyramid and everything. Mm-hmm. What was that like for you? What do you sort of say to yourself to kind of calm yourself and get into the moment, in a situation like that?
I would say I'm a serving sub, to start off with it, so I have to be prepped to go in at any time during the match, just like cold off the bench to hit like my best serve. So I think doing that so many times over the last 2 years has really prepped me for like coming in for a different position, either to block or to play outside. So yeah, I think I'm just out of being a serving sub for like the last 2 years really prepped me for coming into games like that.
And then Alan, obviously that second set, it was quite close as Loyola was actually up like 15-11, and then you made the substitution for Nathan for Spencer. Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind when you made that sub for one of your better players, and what happened with Spencer the rest of the way?
Well, absolutely nothing the rest of the way with Spencer. Nathan just came in and played really well, and you're not going to change it up. You're going with a hot hand. And what I really wanted is that we were down a few, and I really wanted Nathan serve. Everything else was a bonus in that particular set. I thought he passed well. He played great defense, and he gave us some offense, but he got us back up in that set. We took the lead on his serve, and we just rode that momentum through the set. So, we talk all the time. It's not about who starts matches. It's about who finishes matches, and we have plenty of guys in our gym right now. It took a couple of years to kind of get back out of the craziness we're all in to have some depth, but we feel like we have some depth, and we're going to use it. We've already used a couple of guys off the bench in Canada. We used different guys at Penn State. People are going to see some faces, and I have no problem using guys at pretty much every spot we have in the gym.
And a question for Clark, career high in kills tonight, 20 kills, and it just seemed like you were able to keep your composure throughout the night. There was this one moment in the fifth set where it was in transition and you had to catch up maybe with your approach. The set was, you were in the back row, set was in the front row per usual, but you had to catch up to it, and it just seemed like a beautiful cutback shot. I mean, what's your mindset throughout a tough back and forth set like that with the crowd behind you?
Yeah, first I just would say that our middles did a great job, and Aiden did a great job of like facilitating to them. They had no errors between the two of them, and I think that was really huge for opening up the pins, whether it was me, Sotos, or Nate. So that was because of the middles mostly, and I would say like I'm there to swing. I'm not there to chop out or tip out, and it's the fifth set, 13-all. You might as well swing, And I know that my guys have my back to cover me, and if not, then we'll just set at the next one.
Yeah, well said. You're not there to. Clark, you've been here for a few years, and it does feel like Coach mentioned it just feels a little bit more normal this year, right? What's it been like to see the crowds back in the pyramid and have that depth, and the energy this year feels a little bit different, right? What's it like playing in front of a crowd like that, and to kind of have that feeling coming back, I guess, into the building? Yeah,
it's awesome. I mean, it's fun to play away games sometimes in a different atmosphere, but coming back home and like seeing the crowd and your family's in the audience and stuff, it's a really fun time, and we're really grateful to have really good fans here in Long Beach. So it's been really fun.
And then, Coach, as Clark just mentioned, the middles were very efficient. No hitting errors, 21 kills combined, a hitting percentage of .636 between the two. What can you say about the middles, and is this the most efficient you've seen the middles up to this point?
Probably. It's certainly something that we've been pushing in practice. It wasn't like we just threw on the light switch today, and try to go a lot of middle. We've been trying to have a big presence in the middle of the court, front row and back row, and without having that pull away from what Clark gets on the right and what our lefts get. But it's rare that it kind of balances out, that the numbers are so even, and so just the distribution kind of works out to be so perfect. You love that, but there's certain nights that some guys are just feeling it. Well, tonight was one of those nights offensively for the middles. First of all, to have your middles hit those numbers and hit those percentages on those kind of numbers means you're passing the ball very, very well. I thought Aiden did a great job setting, but you got to give a lot of credit. Mason had been sick most of the week and fairly dehydrated, and he was battling just to get through the match without cramping, to the point that he's not hurt at all. He's just coming off of being sick for a while and got better, and then kind of had a little bit of a bout of it again, and he just grinded through it. So he was just dehydrated and feeling it. And so we didn't have that. You didn't have the exact same personality of Mason tonight on there, because I think he was just trying to get through the match. And that is what I'm so proud about with Nathan and Spencer when he's in there, and Sotos, is their ability to pick up some of the slack that he carries for us, because he carries such an important piece of our serve receive, both prep, talking, communicating. And tonight was one of those nights he was just trying to get through the match.
Alan, you said, I asked you what the team was going to look like this year, and I think the stats are almost like a joke, like a parody of what you described, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's going to be more balanced offensively. Yeah. The ball is going to move around more. How comfortable with you, with where you guys are right now? How much it's nice to, you're a couple weeks into the season, to have it look like what you thought it was going to look like, right?
Yeah, that's for obvious reasons. I think there was lots of reasons we talked about last year why you end up being like that a little bit at times. But it's the biggest reason is because the middle group that we have right now, one, Simon's training full-time in the middle, and the other guys, last year, we were just, whoever was healthy was the next guy up to play in the middle. So we have some nice depth. Right now, what's going in our gym with Grant Maroki, and De'Aris McRaven, Derek Owens, and Aiden Gross, we got all these guys battling in the middle. Yeah, it's exactly what you would want, as far as you wanted that distribution. So you ask where it comes from, or what do you think about it? It comes because of what's happening in the gym. Both sides of the net are fairly similar in the sense that there's good balance in our gym, but both have very, very effective middle attacks in practice. So we're getting way better reps of stopping it. And we're getting a way bigger presence of making sure that we're setting it, not just first ball, but also for points in transition.
And this is the question for any of you three. Next week, you've got UCLA in back-to-back matches, Thursday at their place, and then Friday here at the Pyramid. Obviously, UCLA has been a machine throughout the most part. What's it going to take down UCLA on either of those nights?
Right. I've been totally into the match. We just finished a 5-er with Loyola. So the details, I won't get into. They'll be good. They're a talented team, a really well coached team, and we'll worry about that next week. What we worry about is like we always do. We'll pick up a couple of things that we want to identify that we would like to try to have an impact against what they want to do, but spend the week prepping us and getting us better. And know that we've been doing this now for 10 years with them in February. It's great for both programs, and I hope they turn into some great matches, and a lot like tonight, I would imagine. But I'll get into the details as the week goes on. But I know the guys will be excited to get in the gym on Monday and start prepping for that week.
For all three of you, tonight was your weekly salute to service night. You had honored the Admiral before the match, and I know he talked with all three of you, the whole team anyway, before the match. What kind of inspiration does that bring to all of you, and to just have a chance to learn and hear from someone of that kind of caliber?
I'm sure they have a couple of things to say, but let me say one thing about that. We're very proud of our salute to service on Friday nights. I thought the Admiral was incredible. We asked him, he didn't go too in depth. He's going to join us again next fall in our retreat and go a little bit further. He does a lot of speaking and team building. But it's always super inspirational to hear the story. I'll say this and then I'll let them talk. We talk a lot in sports about a battle or a war or fight and all these things, and it's true in our version. But to hear the sacrifices, the commitment, and then what I take out of it so much that we can use on our team is the absolute meticulous attention to detail of the planning, of the brotherhood, of the team dynamic, the bond. And so anytime we get an opportunity to listen to someone like the Admiral, we want to pull as much as we can and apply it to what we're trying to do in our fantasy world of battling and going to go war, I guess, which we're not doing. So that's what I took from him. I'm always very inspired when we get a chance to have someone like that talk to our team. Guys?
It was really fun to hear stories and some ways that they look at life, or that they go about life. And he talked about courage a lot and the brotherhood. And I mean, we're just really grateful to be able to have people like that come in and talk to us and build those connections, and looking forward to more of that in the future for sure.
For me, it was really special to know that someone that high, that prestigious character like an Admiral, to come to our volleyball team to speak to us, and like Clark said, tell us these stories. It's just really nice. It's really good to know that someone like that is serving for us and making sure we're safe here back at home.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.